I know math is not the Conservative Party of Canada's forte.
And the budget will balance itself.
So,
There's great advantage. I know we have some high school students here as well, already getting involved in supporting their communities and creating solutions for people. These are the things that really show Canada as an extraordinary place to invest. The fact that we have the best educated workforce in the OECD, people who are strong, capable, ambitious, forward-thinking, hard-working. This, in a growing population, is exactly what investors from around the world are looking for, and it's Canadians who are making this happen with their excellence, with their dedication. L'annonce d'aujourd'hui fait suite à d'autres investissements générationnels dans les batteries et les véhicules électriques par des entreprises comme Honda, Stellantis, Northvolt et Volkswagen. J'étais justement à St. Thomas, ici en Ontario, hier, pour parler de nos investissements partout au pays pour créer plus de places en garderie. À St. Thomas, c'est là que Volkswagen construit une nouvelle usine de batteries qui va créer des bons emplois dans la région. It's also going from a child care announcement just down the road in St. Thomas to a EV supply chain announcement here is not too far a jump, because part of what the advantage that companies are looking for when they invest in Canada is knowing that people are part of strong communities with the supports, whether it's childcare or healthcare or vibrant communities, that they need to be successful for decades to come in their businesses. So whether it's St. Thomas or here in Colborne, these major manufacturing investments will create and secure jobs for generations to come. Of course, it's more than just jobs. It's revenue for family-owned businesses. It's sponsors for kids' hockey teams. It's healthy communities where everyone has a fair chance to succeed. See, after decades of decline in our manufacturing communities, and in an uncertain world where we're facing a lot of new challenges, we have a plan to meet this moment. A plan to secure the future for our families, to breathe life into our main streets, and to position Canada as the most reliable supplier in a net zero world. Since 2015, we've been deliberately and in a focused way building a clean tech ecosystem. Great international companies like Asahi Kasei, Stellantis, Northvolt, Volkswagen, and Honda are seeing the ecosystem that we're building here. They want to be part of it. They're investing billions of dollars, and we're happy to be working in partnership with them. Because the choices that our government has made, and the investments that our government has made, has led to Canada now coming in first globally in Bloomberg's ranking of lithium-ion battery supply chains.
How many scandals do you think Trudeau has had? I have another video over here showing how many, and it is a lot. And I think shame needs to be brought back into Canada because he has no shame anymore. And I think it just trickles down to everyone underneath him. And that's what's really frustrating about Trudeau. And as far as an election is concerned, obviously there should have been one a year ago. But do you think it'll really be in October 2025? Because his steam, like all he has to do is smile and for the camera, go on his vacations. There's going to be a new love in his life coming up, probably, because he has to, because he needs to take attention away from himself. Anyway, let me know in the comments what you think. Let's go back to the video.
And that didn't happen by accident. It was deliberate choices by Canadian government and partners like the Government of Ontario to draw in investments in a growing sector where great manufacturing jobs will be available for communities like here in Colborne and right across the country, where industries that will be relevant for decades to come, even as the world is in transformation. These were choices we made to create these investments, to draw in these investors, and they're choices that have left Canada on a stronger footing into the future. But it's not stopping there. Companies around the world are looking to Canada. Last year, Canada attracted the highest per capita foreign direct investment in the G7 among advanced industrialized economies, and we were the third in most total foreign direct investment in the world after only the US and Brazil. The world is noticing what Canada is doing. C'est pourquoi qu'on va poursuivre notre travail pour créer encore plus d'emplois qui vont permettre de garder notre économie forte pour les générations à venir. Alors, merci tout le monde d'être ici. C'est maintenant un grand plaisir pour moi de passer la parole au Premier ministre de l'Ontario, Premier Ford. Doug, it's always good to stand here with you on big announcements that are great for Ontarians and great for Canada. Thank you for being here. I'll pass it to you.
Thank you.
I know math is not the Conservative Party of Canada's forte.
And the budget will balance itself.
So,
Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you, Prime Minister. And it's great to be here in Port Colborne. And I always say, before I start introducing everyone, I mentioned Kudo-san, which I will introduce and thank you in a minute. You know, when you're successful in coming to a community, you pull over to the local Tim Hortons, you go in there and you talk to the people. I'll tell you, they're ecstatic, they're as happy as anything, so thank you. I'm here with my number one salesperson. I always say the architect of the deal with his great partner, his federal counterpart, which I'll get to in a minute, Minister Fedeli. He flies all over the world. I think you're going over to Japan this week, Vic. And our local champion, Sam Oosterhoff, he's our champion down in the Niagara region, to celebrate another huge auto investment in our province. Before I begin, I want to acknowledge Prime Minister Trudeau, Minister Champagne, and your entire team, and thank you for your partnership. And as well as Ambassador Yamanuchi, and Consul General Matu Sangam, and Regional Chair Jim Bradley, Mayor Steele, Mayor Diodati, Mayor Campion, and Mayor Redicop, and all the elected officials joining us today. And a big, big thank you, I say, the Commander-in-Chief, the boss, Kudo-san. Thank you for coming. And Matsuyama-san. As well as Sam, thank you for everything you've done, Sam, as well, and the entire team from Asahi Kasai. And on behalf of our province, I want to officially welcome you to the greatest team in the world. It's called Team Ontario. Thank you. You know, we're just so thrilled that you've chosen Port Colborne. The community is great, talented people here, and you're going to just be so successful to produce integrated lithium-ion battery separators, critical components for electric vehicle batteries. Your $1.6 billion investment, along with your planned multi-billion-dollar investment for future phases, is going to boost job creation across our mining, auto, and manufacturing sectors. It's going to strengthen our homegrown electric vehicle supply chain and help ensure that all the components needed for the cars of the future are made in Ontario by Ontario workers from start to finish. Friends, I've said it before, Ontario is a world leader in the electric vehicle revolution. Together with great companies like Asahi Kasei, with all levels of government, Indigenous communities, industry, and labor groups, we're building an end-to-end electric vehicle supply chain. We're connecting our northern minerals from some of the largest critical mineral deposits in the entire world and the clean steel manufacturers in Hamilton and Sault Ste. Marie to automakers and battery manufacturers across our great province. And over the past 4 years,
I know math is not the Conservative Party of Canada's forte.
And the budget will balance itself.
So,
province, with a partnership with our federal partners, has attracted over $43 billion in EV and battery investment. Folks, I always say, put the political stripes aside. The reason there's $43 billion of investment, because we've worked with the federal government, we've worked with municipalities right across this great province, and we're just so happy to continue attracting more companies here, and I know more companies are on their way. Together, we have welcomed new battery plants in Alliston, St. Thomas, and Windsor, and with these anchor investments in battery plants, we're starting to see the EV supply chain fill out in more communities, helping to create jobs and support local economies across the province. We've seen major investments from parts and component producers in Loyalist Township, in Brampton, in Brantford, and now in Port Colborne. And we're seeing auto manufacturers add second and third shifts to plants in Oshawa and Ingersoll as they retool to manufacture EVs. We're so proud that Ontario is now the only place in North America that the 6 largest automakers call home. Companies of all sizes are investing in our province because of our dependable supply chains, our world-class workforce, as the Prime Minister mentioned, and our transportation infrastructure. Companies are coming here because of our competitive business environment, because of the work we've done to cut red tape by $1 billion, to reduce.
And is Chrystia Freeland doing a good job? She is the finance minister and the vice president of Canada. And she is the one that just looks like her head is just spinning when she talks. It's always like trying to drag it on, never answer a question. And maybe they should have this I thought they would always do this. When they ask a question, say, do you mind after you finish it, if you give me 5 seconds to say if you answered it or not for our listeners, because it is so frustrating. Everything is an infomercial with both of them. And that's something that I think needs to be stopped. Maybe the whole Constitution and the human rights and everything needs to be rewritten again after those two are gone, because this is just frustrating what they're doing. Anyway, let's go back to the video.